I heard that you're a little bit of a skeptic. You have to feel your emotions. Stop being a robot.
No, I do. It's like I felt it. This is definitely a bit of a step, I think.
You are sensitive. They were lovers in a past life.
Oh boy.
We met on Sequester, and my first impression of him was wants to win too bad. Mm-hmm. But
fair.
I said super attractive, but wants to win.
My impression of you was your stream where you talked about the game and you were like, this whole thing is stupid. This strategy is dumb.
And guess what? That's exactly how I played.
I actually loved it because like you kept talking about like Twitch versus YouTube, and you kept talking about like not wanting to play, and like people with like bad cameras, and I was like, this is great. I can just put a target on him because people are gonna be worried.
I know. I didn't care. Here's the thing. Okay, there was no prize, so I went in thinking everyone was gonna be like me, where it's like, you know, who the hell is gonna try super hard to win this because we're just gonna have fun. Do you know what I mean? There's no prize. Just give the girls what they want, which is entertainment. And then I went in there and everyone was super quiet and super strategic, and I was like, girl, I'm bored. So like right off the bat, I was just like, I'm gonna start some shit because everyone else is just scared. And that's basically what I did. I started Casey versus Amon. I started Twitch versus YouTube, and then I made all of the actors really scared because I was like, you know, actors are professional liars.
I love that too. Like in the game, I actually was like, you know what? I kind of don't want to target him or Casey because I love the energy that they're both bringing.
Well, if I was like strategically trying to win that game, I would have kept me around until like the middle. Because you need people who are like unlikable or like villain or whatever you want to say, people that people would vote for. You need to keep them till the middle. Do you know what I mean? And get out the other people first. Because I feel like if you're a floater in those games, you're the number one target. But yeah, so since then, we talked a little bit about readings and stuff, and he said that he was somewhat interested. Now, I usually don't do readings for people live because I feel like a lot of people are like mean or like don't really value me or what I do, but you're very respectful and you're very kind and you are somewhat interested.
Yeah.
So yeah, I did this for Dead Flip, and now I'm doing it for you. So it's like a party of two. So you should feel very honored.
Truly honored to be in Dead Flip's company. He's just great.
I know, Dad Flip. I miss him. I heard that you're a little bit of a skeptic.
That's probably an accurate description. Yeah.
Okay, but you're respectful.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, and you are an Aries, right?
Yes.
Okay. How do you feel about being an Aries? Like, obviously you're a skeptic, but do you like from what you already know, like, do you feel like you like that applies to you or no?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like I identify with it, but I think a lot of that stems from the fact that I grew up as an Aries, and so like I wanted to identify with it, and so it's like which came first kind of deal. But I also am like not super knowledgeable about the signs in general. I mostly think of Aries as like I don't know, like God of War kind of thing. I don't know.
Well, Aries are natural born leaders, and I definitely think you're a leader for sure. I mean, what you do in your career is something that a follower would never do. But Aries are also known for hyperfocus, and I feel like you are a great example of that.
Yeah, that's fair.
A very good example of that. So have you ever had a tarot reading before?
I have not. I think when I was like a very small kid, I went to a psychic once, but I don't remember it.
Okay. So what I do is honestly pretty simple. So basically the whole point of it is to kind of show you what's coming, and then, or what you're currently dealing with if you don't have all the pieces. And then it's kind of empowering you to make your own personal decision. I feel like, free will decisions trump all. And so this isn't like, this is concrete what's going to happen. It's like, this is what's heading to you. So if you don't like something or you want to adjust, you have the information available to you, and then you can do what you will with it. So I asked him to prepare a little bit of a starter question. It doesn't have to be super intense, but before we get to that, just know that public readings are definitely different than private. Like I am not going to get juicy, intricate details like I would if I was doing a private reading. What is your question? Did you prepare one?
I mean, I have like some vague ideas. I don't know if there's like a specific. Should I have a very specific question, or just is vague good enough?
I mean, it's honestly, I usually say that it's up to the client because if you want something a little specific, you can. If you want to start off a little bit more in the middle and then ask me as I'm reading more specific, it's kind of just up to you.
Okay. I mean, in general, like what I've been doing in my career, I guess, is, you know, trying to connect with people and build an audience. And, you know, I'm very focused on Big Brother, of course. That's the main show that I talk about. But in times like these, when things are uncertain and Big Brother's getting canceled left and right, it makes me concerned about sort of the direction of where I'm going, if I'm so tied to Big Brother. And so, like something that's been on my mind a lot is like, where do I go from here if Big Brother does stop, and even if it doesn't stop, like should I continue to try and make sure that that I have a sort of like I'm more than just Big Brother.
That's a good question. I love how long-winded you are. You're very prepared. You should hear half the stuff I deal with. People are like, I mean, I don't know, like, what's gonna happen? I'm like, no. That's not a direction. This is gonna be a little bit complicated because I already have a little bit of an issue. So currently on your stream and with all the content that you create, do you do anything in addition to like the Big Brother talks and stuff?
Yeah, so what I'm doing right now is, you know, one day a week at the very least, I'm streaming just, people can ask me any questions they want. Sometimes it's about Survivor, because Survivor's on right now. Sometimes it's just about whatever. And then sometimes I'm just talking about television in general, not just a specific show. And then I'm also doing like a Survivor rewatch. Survivor's tied into Big Brother, though. It's pretty related. I am like thinking about different things that I can do outside of that, but haven't really started it up yet.
Okay, so the reason I asked that is because I pulled the Two of Wands. So the Two of Wands is always conflicting passions. So that is sometimes having something that you feel will cause a disruption to what already exists. And the Seven of Cups is upright, which Seven of Cups is a dreamer card for me. This is about like endless possibilities, and bigger is better. So to me, I am totally seeing you needing to expand, which goes without saying, but I'm also seeing the Nine of Swords next to that, which is overthinking and overanalyzing it. To me, this reads as having great ideas, but not pulling the trigger. The Four of Pentacles is reverse. Four of Pentacles is about something that has already had somewhat of an effort put in terms of the idea. The Hierophant is about a complete commitment. And the Strength card is about you being stubborn and being afraid to make any changes. I think you know why people watch you, but you don't want to admit that it's because they like you. And I think that's the problem, because that's the only thing that would stop you from doing some of these things. Because I'm seeing you literally put work into ideas and then throw them out. That's not how something happens. If you think about an idea and if you're brainstorming, it's supposed to be put out there eventually.
I think that's pretty fair, actually. I come up with a lot of different ideas, and definitely a lot of them don't get made. I think a big part of it is that like I don't want to put something out and then have nobody care. So that, like, I have that fear.
How are they going to care if you don't build the audience for it?
It's true. I think that the situation with the world right now as well has really made me think a lot more about this. And there are some ideas that I've been sitting on for a very long time.
So it's funny that you say that, because the world is something that's unfinished business. King of Pentacles in terms of your content, and the Temperance card, something that you've been sitting on. Okay, that's patience. Did you have a really big opportunity fall apart?
I don't
like
think
recently.
So.
Okay. Then I have a little bit of frustrating news. So I am seeing the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune is like a really big opportunity. And it is reversed. So that's about quote unquote bad luck or a falling out. The Hangman is upright and the Knight of Pentacles. So for me, that's about an opportunity that was supposed to happen, but then falls apart and comes back. So I don't know if this is something that has happened yet or is about to happen. If it hasn't happened yet, then it's going to happen soon, okay? Because I've been doing this for a long time. Good news is the Hangman is upright, so that's about a temporary sacrifice. So to me, you're not forgotten. So if you're worried about them being like, oh, we're not going to use him for anything else, bullshit, you are. You have to feel your emotions. Stop being a robot.
No, I do. It's like I felt it, but then, there's, you move on after.
Such a fucking Aries. So the Judgment card's upright, the Knight of Wands upright, and the King of Wands is reversed. So King of Wands is usually, when it's reversed, an impulsive card. Now, Aries are known for being impulsive. However, you seem to have a good grip on them. That's a problem. The reason it's a problem that you have too much of a grip on your impulse and you have good impulse control is the Nine of Wands upright and the Judgment card, which means you're playing it safe and you're avoiding anything sharp. That right there is you being like, well, maybe I should walk on eggshells and not say this or not do this. And you have to get rid of that. You have to. Like, if there's a sticky situation and you have an opinion, you have to speak on it. You have to really be yourself and say the things that you want to say, regardless of how people are going to take it or what they're going to do. This is a process. It ain't going to happen overnight, but you need to take more risks. You have to come out of your shell. Look at this. Like, this is the Devil card is like people talking shit or saying whatever. And then the Page of Wands reverse, which is like you not speaking your authenticity. Why are you so afraid to speak?
I've always known, like, when I started to podcast and when I started to like really, it became an actual thing more than just, I'm just a random person on the thing, right. That like I would definitely be opening myself up more and more as time went on. I kind of reached a place where I was never really pushed on it, and so I was like, well, I'm sure it'll happen eventually, but I don't necessarily need to take that step. This is, I think people in the chat are already saying this is probably some of the most personal stuff I've talked about. So this is definitely a bit of a step, I think.
Obviously, we're all aware that you don't really talk shit about people or cause any problems. I can confirm that you ain't a liar. I would see it if you were, because plenty of times that's happened. But the Page of Pentacles is upright, which means you have high expectations, not only for yourself, but for others. And the Knight of Cups is about being able to grow with these expectations. So to me, that's a really healthy business mentality. And if you don't utilize that, you're wasting time. And we don't have much time. You are sensitive as shit. Very sensitive. And that's, it's the truth. That's a strength, not a weakness.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I see it that way. I think that, like, it helps me with the people I care about, for sure. And yeah, I mean, it might limit me a little bit outside of that circle, but yeah, it's something that I've been trying to put myself out there a little more, doing my best to make those leaps. And because I know that a lot of it's just experience, just like experiencing it, letting yourself feel the discomfort, getting used to it. So, yeah.
But yeah, if you have other questions or anything else or comments or anything,
I mean, I think you're great. I'm a bit of a skeptic, but I think that, and for anyone in the chat that might be a skeptic, I think that regardless of how you feel about the sort of psychic part of it, I think that you are somebody who has a lot of emotional intelligence, and there's a lot of value to your read on me and the things that you're saying. Sort of, I think, regardless of the beliefs involved. I don't know. Maybe that's not true for you, but that's how I feel. I mean, I think that you have a lot of value to give to me, regardless of whether or not people believe in what you're doing.
Well, anything new that he does, support it and watch it and share it. But I also think, as a community, I think that you guys need to kind of challenge him and push him a little bit more too.
All right, guys, nudge me.
I love the way you speak.
Thank you.
It cracks me up. I'm so entertained.
I see a question here. Because Taran is so empathetic, should he do some type of advice or psychology stream?
You don't do advice streams?
I haven't, no.
Why the fuck not? That's literally 100% something you should be doing.
I mean, that's one of the ideas I've had for a long time, but I've never did it.
Karen, okay, I'm gonna insert myself, but I don't care. Why don't we do an advice stream together?
Oh my, that would be fun.
I think that would be really fun. We should do that like often. That'd be really fucking fun.
That would be fun. I agree. I got a couple questions about the moon and rising.
Yeah,
signs?
that's astrology. So it's like having more. Remember when I said you have more than one sign?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So like moon is your emotions, and the rising is like the first thing people see, or the mask you wear in public. Oh, Chad is saying you're a double Aries with a Scorpio ascendant.
Okay.
Ooh, you have an Aries moon like me too. Wait, you're like Logan Paul.
That's not a good thing, is it?
I love Logan Paul. What do you mean?
Oh, I don't know. I feel like I don't know. Maybe you're joking with me. I don't know. I feel like I've heard bad things.
Listen, double Aries would be a good thing though, if that's accurate. If you really are a double Aries, because there's nothing more ambitious and nothing more driven than a double Aries.
I think that's fair. Yeah. That's definitely how I see myself, I think.
But yeah, we'll really like see what like your chart is another day. Like we'll really go into it.
All right, sounds good.
And we'll find it out. I love all right, sounds good. Like you have these like inflections in your voice that are fucking perfect.
Thank you.
How do you do that?
I don't know.
It's like obviously it's perfect for a podcast, but like I gotta learn how to do that. I don't do that. I'm just like a dumb bitch and just like say whatever. But you're like so meticulous with the way you like say words. Is that weird? Probably.
I mean, I don't think it's weird. I think I don't know. I'm not doing it on purpose.
Weird.
So when I read, I don't really picture things very well. Like I don't know what the characters look like. I barely know what the setting looks like, let alone like what it is. I'm mostly just focused on like the words and like what's happening. But I know that other people, it's like a movie in their mind, and they picture the whole thing. Do you what do you experience?
You don't see images in your brain?
No. Like if you ask me like picture a table, I'd picture a table. If you ask me to picture like an entire room of things, I'd picture a table, and then I'd start to be like, okay, I can't. It's too much. I can only focus on one thing at a time. So like when I'm like reading about two people walking through a setting, I'm pretty much just imagining two concepts of people having a conversation in a vague, I don't know, maybe they're in a field. I don't know.
Oh my God. No, what I do for a living is essentially seeing images, basically. And that's my entire life. I am super visual. I'm 100% a visual learner. I need to visualize things. I see pictures all the time. Like every time when I'm talking to people, I'm seeing pictures. When I'm channeling information and reading tarot, I see pictures. When I'm reading a book, I see pictures. Like everything. If I can't visualize something, it won't even stick.
Interesting. Yeah. This fascinates me because like I didn't even realize that other people did picture things until like I guess somewhat recently when I was seeing people talk about it. They were like, yeah, I envisioned the whole thing. Like when people always would like be like, oh, this is how I'd cast a movie of this book, and people would be like, oh, this person doesn't look like that person. I'd be like, how do you know? I don't. It's like the descriptions don't stick with me. I never picture a person. I think Audrey is in the chat and she wants to know, what is Taryn and Brent's past life connection? Siblings, friends, partners in crime. I don't know. You probably don't even know who Brent is.
Yeah, I don't know who Brent is.
He's just a guy I podcast with. He helps Audrey with Sequester a lot. He's played a couple times.
They were lovers in a past life.
Oh boy.
Honestly, truly, that's the first thing I heard in my head, so we're going with it.
That's going to be a thing. Well, thanks, Audrey, for that question. I appreciate it.
I actually have one question for you.
Okay.
Do you have any like goals and things you want to do like with Twitch specifically?
Be successful.
Well,
But in a way that
do
makes me
mine?
happy, right? Like in a way that like I don't want to have like I never want to do something I don't enjoy in order to be successful. So that's the path, right?
Mm-hmm.
Audrey wants to know, do I have a future in television producing?
That's actually something that a lot of people are asking, that have been asking me as well. Is that something you want to do? Because you have all of the skill sets.
I mean, that's sort of how I feel, is that like, I think that I could add value to a show like Big Brother. I think that, I mean, this might especially sound cocky to somebody that doesn't know the show very well, but I think I know the show better than the producers do most of the time. And I think that I could make the show better, but also like, I don't know if that's like what I want my job to be, you know?
Where I see your career going, I don't see you producing for that show. If anything, it would be your own projects, like your
I
own
would
ideas.
imagine. Yeah.
Like I see you more independent. Like you wouldn't join a production company, you would make one.
Yeah, I think that's probably what I would do if I went in that direction, for sure.
Who knows, maybe you'll be producing your own version of whatever the fuck.
Whatever lame show you like.
No, you know I love reality TV.
No, yeah.
Okay, like listen, we're in this together, okay?
Audrey says, have you ever considered writing fictional stories or a fictional series? You seem so creative that you could come up with some amazing sci-fi content.
Oh my god, you should totally do that.
Oh, she's talking about you.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Wait, really? Me? You think I have that in me? Wow. I mean, I think honestly, truthfully, I did obviously want to be a writer when I was younger. So I think that that's kind of always a part of me. I like to sing and dance. And so I think at some point for me, so basically I made a mood board with a lot of things that I want to do. I have a lot of plans. I'm going to write a book one day. I'm going to have my own like completely custom merch line. I'm going to have an album. I don't care if it sells well. It's for me because I'm creative. And like I have a lot of like talents, I think. And that's something that is a little bit frustrating for me sometimes because people always want to put me in a psychic box. But I'm really good at a lot of different things. I think I'm funny. I think I'm good at improv. You know, I think I'm a good actor, a good singer, a good dancer, you know, and I think, you know, I'm also a psychic. There's a lot of things that I think people haven't seen from me yet that they'll eventually see in due time. But I just don't really like to like talk about stuff because then people get messy. And I like to be underestimated. It's kind of a turn on for me. So
yeah. I've always wanted to write a fantasy book or series.
Let's write one together.
But the problem for me is that it's the writing. I don't like writing.
Well, you know what? Just make enough money to hire someone to do that part.
Right?
We just got to find a Virgo. That's it.
There you go. All right.
Okay. Are you going to continue to stream or are you ending your stream?
I was gonna stop down. Unless,
okay.
Should I not? What are we doing?
I don't know. Whatever you want to do. It's your shit. I can tell you what to do.
Well, I have to.
You can try to tell me what to do. I'm just kidding.
Well, you have to stop down. That's the rule.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You're not allowed to stream without me anymore.
Oh, really? Okay. We'll see about that. You should know I'm oppositional defiant.
What does that mean?
That means that I don't listen to what people tell me to do.
Does that mean that if I want you to do something, I should tell you to do the opposite?
No, that means if you want me to do something, you should tell me to do it, and then I'll only do it if I want to.
Okay.